Welcome back to the Ranch Office vlog. Today we're going to talk about TED Talk Taco Tuesdays.
Yes. One of my favorite times of the week, for sure.
Definitely my favorite time of the week. Let me just explain to everybody what that means. So, TED Talk Taco Tuesdays is a time when we come and buy tacos for all the members and everyone that's here at the ranch.
Right.
And we all watch a TED Talk either in this room, in the conference room, or out on the projector if we have more people. So, the reason we do that is twofold. Number one, we're big on personal development here.
For sure.
Definitely
100%.
big on personal development. And that's, getting better as a person and also applying that to our businesses as well.
Yes.
So it also provides us an opportunity to come together as a community and really kind of bond and get that small Texas family feel, which we're striving for.
Right.
And I think that, everybody's busy working throughout the week, and this is a chance where we can all take a break, step back, and just, talk to each other, learn from each other. We will always rotate who picks the TED Talk.
Right.
And it gives everybody an opportunity to contribute and an opportunity to learn.
For sure.
So why don't you tell them how we kind of got into this in the first place?
So I noticed that when we first got together, we did this huge brainstorming session on how we were going to launch the ranch, what we wanted the ranch to be, what we wanted to provide to the community. And I remember asking you, we kind of bonded over Gary Vee, personal development, and just different types of books on just leadership. So I said, hey, why don't we do this every Tuesday where we just dedicate this time for me and you to just really go in, exchange ideas, pick a topic, and just he's really big into working out, and I was like, well, let's work out our brain, and we started doing this every Tuesday. And we realized that there was more value than just us both being in here. We're from two different sides of the work spectrum, and I just thought, hey, man, why not get everybody in here? Yeah. Why not get the opinion of not just our members? So we opened it also to the community. So now we have, people from different organizations coming out and partaking in a Taco Tuesday, taking notes. And like he said, it's a time for us to really just stop everything and engage with each other. It's very important to have that moment where we're just not in a space working next to each other. We're learning together, we're growing together, we're exchanging ideas, and it's just one of those things that brings us and really just unites the community. So that's really what I wanted, and it's grown, and we've been able to see different aspects and different places that people are coming from, and we're all getting different aha moments where we get the same information, but we take it different for our situation, and we're able to share that and shed light to each other on how we were able to take that information and what we got out of it. So it's just been great.
That was as well put as anybody could have said that,
you.
Honestly. It just made sense. I mean, we were still kind of new, having opened recently, trying to figure out what are different ways we can engage our community, and this just kind of fell into our lap as something you and I were already doing.
Right.
And so, if you're going to create some sort of community event, you don't want to put on some sort of, fake type thing that you're doing just because. If it's something that you truly care about and it kind of comes down to you as a person, and that's something that you are passionate about, then it's going to be real. You're going to enjoy doing it every week. It's not going to feel like a job to where you're putting on community events. It's like, this is the thing that we all look forward to every week. And, we know, for example, Patrick, one of our members, he's off site, but he comes back during Taco Tuesdays from his client site just to come here. And I think we have something pretty special going there. So let's turn it over and kind of give them some more examples as to, what is an example of a Taco Tuesday session, a TED Talk Taco Tuesday? Why don't you start? What's your favorite one so far?
So we've done plenty, but one thing that I've kind of it hit me hard was Extreme Ownership by Jocko. First of all, his background, being in the military, and even his presence, right? I mean, this is this big, muscular, very masculine fella who's talking about extreme ownership, and he goes into a topic about where they were in a very hostile situation, and life was on the line, and they turned out having this huge fight, but they figured out that they were fighting within
Friendly
each
fire.
other,
Yeah.
right? It was a friendly fire. And at the end of this, they noticed that some people had perished, some Iraqi friendlies, I believe he said.
Yeah.
And just a lot of things went wrong. And at the end of the day, he knew that his higher ups, generals, were coming out. So he knew they were going to ask one simple question, right? The question is, whose fault is this? How did this happen? And he spent all this time trying to figure out what went wrong, who did what, what was he going to tell these generals, these higher ups? And turned out that, he looked at the whole situation and he understood that as the leader, as the top person in that group, that he was responsible for everything that happened below him. So regardless of, if somebody did not send a signal fast enough or somebody wasn't in the right position or wherever it was, he figured out that all started with his leadership. He took ownership. And I feel like a lot of leaders forget that. I mean, some people are quick to put blame on folks.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when you can really seek to understand the situation and look back and understand that you are the leader, and at every single moment you can have impacted change, I think for him to accept that and that concept is huge.
Yeah, and I think it's just been able to apply, because I've read his book, Extreme Ownership. It applies, not only to the leaders, but everyone in the chain of command, so to speak, even for business. So things are always going to fall out of place. Things are going to need to be done that aren't necessarily your responsibility. You can't always go pointing fingers when people are wrong or when things go wrong. And if you kind of own everything in your world, both up the chain and down the chain, and you take it upon yourself to prevent something from going wrong in advance, you can really, make transformative change in an organization. And so that's something we try to implement here.
Right.
Go
That's
ahead.
another thing. Like when we watch these videos, I mean, it's always good to watch them, talk about them, but how do we implement it, right? How do we actually take value and introduce that to our culture, which I think we've done well.
Right.
So, give an example of how we put extreme ownerships. I mean, like even just creating like SOPs and things like that. We know that in order to be successful, you have to set yourself up for success, right? So I think that's kind of what really gave me that vision. What about for you? Let me ask you, what about for you? What was your favorite video?
Oh man, I'm huge on Simon Sinek's Start With Why.
I remember that. That's some good stuff too.
It came across TED Talk Taco Tuesdays at a time when we really needed it, and that kind of just vouches for, how powerful coming together and watching these videos are, because people are at different points in their businesses, they're at different points in their life, and sometimes, one concept is going to really strike when the person is needing it and when they're receptive to it. And for us, I think having just opened our business, Start With Why was powerful because we really needed to kind of, figure out exactly how we're going to communicate our beliefs, our identity, and be more than just office space, right? Because we have so much more than that. I mean, we're a uniquely Texan workspace, and like he goes into the concept of people buy why you do it, not what you do. He's a big fan of saying, talk about what you believe and find people who believe what you believe. And we've created an environment here where, we believe that people feel happier when they feel at home. And then that's a positive feeling as far as coming to a workplace that makes you feel relaxed and makes you feel a taste of home, not only from the, atmosphere, but also from, the kind of Texan aspect of that. And so figuring out how to communicate that properly was something that video helped with. And we've taken tactical pieces from that and made changes to the website. We made changes to how we communicate on tours. We start with why on our tour now, and then kind of follow up with the actual, features, the actual memberships and all that kind of stuff. But it's really important to let people know kind of why you're doing that and what you believe as a team, because if they can buy into that first, then the other stuff is just rationalizing the decision. And the successful companies really, in my opinion, are really good at doing that. But the companies that are always scraping by are always just chasing the next sale by pushing their product on people. And you don't want to be a company that's always doing that. You want to be able to have some ability for people to flock to you.
Right.
And so that was huge for me. And I also read his book, which is also called Start With Why, and definitely would recommend it to anybody out there who's trying to learn how to successfully build a brand.
One thing you said that really hit me right now was you said that, showing the people, understanding and getting them to understand. But honestly, the first thing about starting with why is to show yourself why you're really doing it, to understand, so it's not a process that you can do, I don't think, in a day or two. It's really diving in deep to find out what burns inside to keep you going to do what you are doing. It's really validating that choice, understanding the value you're able to give. And when you're able to understand your why first, then you can spread that. And I think that's one thing that we had to find out. We had to know exactly what was our culture, what are we trying to give, what are we trying to receive. And once you have that clear why, then you can really run, right?
If you don't believe it, if you don't know, then nobody else is going to believe it.
Right.
So that's huge. Anyway, so these are two good examples of TED Talks from TED Talk Taco Tuesday. They don't all have to be TED Talks. It just has to be some, 10 to 20 minute video that can impact people in a positive way and help us grow, because that's what we're about, and help us do that together and provide a way for us to all come together as a group. So
let me ask you this. Anybody listening, if they're interested in coming out to attend our Taco Tuesdays, tell us about it. It's every Tuesday time.
Yep. It's about 11:30 or 12. Shoot us an email. Our contact info is on the website. We would love to help bring other people in just to experience it and kind of join our family. But yeah, it'll give you a taste of kind of who we are over here at the ranch office, and it'll be a fun experience anyway.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
100%.
tacos?
Yeah, we like the tacos are the best thing. But honestly, I really believe that the value for the community on just exchanging the ideas is where it's core, because like we said earlier, it can hit somewhere different from you than it does for me. And when you're able to elaborate and explain how it hit for you, people are able to see that light, and I think that's another place where people can connect, and I think it's great.
Good stuff. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Ranch Office Vlog. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.